welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, tell a friend, join us in our live chat. On the docket today, we have The Real Housewives of Miami Season 5, Episode 18 Reunion Part 2. This was good. I liked it. Oh, and
I
by the way,
mean,
happy
but
St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. This was good all the way around. And like I wasn't. I'll be honest. I actually listened slash watched this the whole way through. It was not bored. I'm gonna say
Mhm.
this. We roasted Andy Cohen for like the last couple years about his reunions.
Mhm.
He's his last two reunions. He's done. He's back to the old Andy that we remember. The one, the Andy that actually watched the show and was engaged in the shows. It's like
Mhm.
he lost his way a little bit for like a good 5 to 10 years.
He was
But he
just
but
phoning it in.
he
He
was
was
throwing
just
it
phoning
in.
it in. Mhm.
But with Potomac and so I saw pieces of Potomac. Watched the clips and
Mhm.
everything. And this one, he's as people on Twitter say, he's clocked in. Like he was engaged.
Mhm.
I don't know what's going on with him. Maybe I see a change, a
Mhm.
shift, I should say. He's much more engaged. He's much more active. And
Mhm.
in the back of my mind, I keep wondering if he's just tired of the other franchises at this point.
Here's my thought on it. With Potomac, he got so much crap regarding how he handled the Monique reunion.
Hmm.
He got to a point where he was condescending, dismissive, and not very knowledgeable of what he was doing, right? And then
Hmm.
on top of that, ignoring the colorism issue. So he had to prove people wrong and make up for that with Potomac, right? Now,
Okay.
in this franchise, I think something that was said hit a little bit too close to home for him. And that was the out of wedlock children comment from Larsa, because that's when
Hmm.
he got activated. And then that led to I think that was all part of the screaming match that he had, which was directed
Right.
to Larsa, because he had to say that that was a really horrible thing that you said.
Hmm.
And it came from a person who has two children without the benefit of marriage.
Right.
And again, this goes back to Larsa and her seat buddy, Alexia, saying things that they think are okay in order to like prove some point in their head, but it's grossly insulting to who you're saying it to, but also to a wide portion of the population. Or in Julia's case, a whole nationality.
Yeah, whole nation. You should just.
Like she went after Julia hard. She said the thing about Russian women. She then said some other nonsense about how I'm more LGBTQ than you. You're supposed to be a feminist, and I'm more LGBTQ than you. How so? What? She's in a marriage with another woman. They're lesbian. What? Is Alexia
Yeah, I saw
doing
that clip.
something I don't know? Or
I saw
does
that
she
clip.
think being at a LGBTQ parade, Alexia, Alexia, the stupidity that comes out of her mouth. The stupidity. And again, this episode, she did it again. When they went behind during the break and they went to the dressing rooms, and Alexia went to go and talk with Julia to supposedly apologize for what she said to her, and then said the excuse that I want to be friends with you, but I can't because you're friends with her. If you weren't friends with her, we would be friends. So, okay. I am friends with people who I'm not friends with their friends. You can't put conditions on other people. And then she's like, "Oh my god, it's just so and it's so emotional what she said." And Adriana said, "Boo," and she was like, "Don't you say anything." She went from crying to pit bull. This is why I don't like about her. Everything
Now,
is fake and fraudulent and conditional and ignorant.
but in Alexi's defense on this particular issue, now what she was saying is like, I feel that we could be friends without Adriana chiming in. And she's like, you have to be able to have your own relationships with people. She feels that Julia doesn't like her because of Adriana. Well, that's not true. It's more so the things you say to Julia. I'm going to need her to, while she is right, she needs to
Mhm.
parse the situations better. They're not tied together. They're independent of each other. What you say directly to Julia has nothing to do with the friendship with Adriana. You know,
Exactly, but
Adriana,
she doesn't take accountability.
right, and she doesn't parse
And
things.
that's the problem. She doesn't wanna accept that she said bad things to Julia, and maybe that's why
Hmm.
Julia has a problem with
Right,
her. She's
because she
blaming
feels that
it on
she
Adriana.
Gianna, which is why I said she needs to parse out things. I tell people all the time. I said I am friendly with people, friends, and friendly with people. And some of them don't like
Mhm.
each other. That's not my problem. And that's a them issue.
But
So,
this is why I can't get down with Alexia. Alexia is never going to admit that she is wrong. And
mm-mm.
and that's why she's blaming everything on Adriana because she doesn't
Hmm.
want to accept her role in her lack of relationship with Julia. And the only reason why she want to be friends with Julia is because it's 1 degree of separation to Martina.
Mm.
She's a barnacle on the backside of anyone who has name, money, power. Period.
Yeah, that's the truth though.
I
I
try
mean,
with her. I really do. I try from
it's
season 1 and I just couldn't get with it. Hey, Sarv.
but the thing with Alexia, her only redeeming quality, in my opinion, is her being a fantastic mom. Like she's a really
Mm.
good mom, but that doesn't erase all the other bad things that you do, and I think that's a problem because with her, it's just weird. And maybe I'm wrong in editing and remembering things, but it seems like every time she does some asshole thing, she brings in Frankie. I'm like,
Because she
I'm
needs to
not,
cry, and
I'm like, is
Frankie
it
can
my
get her
thing?
to cry.
I'm like, is it me or is this set up? This is a setup. Every time she does some asshole thing, says something
Uh-huh.
stupid, like
Uh-huh.
the next thing we see is like her with Frankie. I'm like, is this
Mhm.
editing so we don't get mad at you? I mean,
But
do you set this
listen,
up this way?
Nicole and Gertie backstage hit the nail on the head. The only reason why she apologized to Julia was
Yeah,
because she was fearful of getting canceled.
canceled. Right. That's it. I agree with them.
But it's
And
just so blatant to everybody.
right. But I do want to talk about
Mm.
Nicole Julia that when Larsa said like she all she does is like put people to sleep or whatever. I'm like, wow. First of all, Larsa, you should never speak again. And then two, when Julia said, "I love this question," and she in that segment, and she's like, "I want to
Mhm.
play Marisol's game. Who do you trust the least in reverse? Who do I trust the most?" And she said, on this stage out of
Mhm.
everybody to surprise, it would be Nicole
Mhm.
because Nicole was Martina's anesthesiologist, and I did not know that.
Yep. Here's the thing. I related in that moment because when my mother went and had her surgery, the last person I spoke to was her anesthesiologist. And you know what my exact words were? Please make my mother wake back up. I didn't care about the laser surgery that was going on for her cataracts or
Hmm.
whatever. My mother is of advanced age
Hmm.
and has other medical problems. And my last words were to the anesthesiologist, not even to the surgeon, the
Right.
anesthesiologist. Please make my mom wake back up. That's critical. getting someone to go under and keeping them level under and
Mhm.
manipulating the drugs while they're under so
Mhm.
that the doctor can do their work and then getting them to wake back up. All praises to Nicole. All
And people
praises
on
to
Twitter
Nicole.
like
You put so
lighting
much
Larsa
trust
up.
in them. Hmm.
And people were on Twitter lighting her up because they're like, Larsa, but all the surgeries that you've had, you would think you of all people would be understanding of
But
how important
listen,
the anesthesiologist is.
didn't Larsa say that Nicole don't got a real job? That the rest of them have real jobs?
She didn't know what she said was is that she had like many jobs and like many real jobs, and Nicole just puts people to sleep.
Let me tell you something. I don't know what purpose Larsa served this season. I don't. Her and Alexia are trash. Trash. Mm. Trash. I
It's
can't.
just no.
The
And
stupidity
Nicole,
from that couch.
but the fun thing is Nicole just didn't even bother responding. Like really, in that moment, she was just like, "I'm just so embarrassed for you right now." And she's a
But
whole. It's like I don't understand. It's like she's a whole doctor. Like, what are you talking about?
I felt Nicole at that point because how do you interpret stupid? I don't
Yeah,
speak that language. And then Marisol with her condescending ass gonna say, when they did the segment where she sent that uninvite to Larsa, and she's like, who helped you with that? Because you're not smart enough to
right.
think of that. Shut all the way up. Shut all the way
Yeah, because
up.
she said
Just
she's like, I need you. She,
because you heard the rumor that Marisol hired someone to help her with all of her
I
confessional
did hear that. I
jokes.
heard that. I saw that on Twitter.
Yep. So just because you do it doesn't, she's smart and she has a quirky sense of humor and she ain't gonna waste money like that.
For real. That was the funny part. And I was thinking about this last night and how the different couches handle everything. It's
Hmm.
very interesting when you really look at the dynamic. And sometimes I wonder why, like Gertie, Julia, Nicole, and those three, they don't really fight back the way the others do. And I had to think about it. Let's start with Nicole. No, we're gonna start with the other couch first. You have Larsa, Alexia, Marisol, those three. I'm not gonna include Kiki in that. Those three, right?
Hmm.
They will go below the belt and fight Journey. Why?
Hmm.
Because they ain't got nothing to lose. If we're being honest, they don't really have anything to lose, like professionally.
Hmm.
Well,
Hmm.
you look
This
at
is their job.
Nicole, right? You look at Nicole, Julia, um, Nicole, Julia, and Gertie. They got stuff to lose. Nicole's a whole doctor. Gertie is an international wedding
Event
planner.
planner. No, event
Event wedding plan
planner.
event
Event.
planner.
Hmm.
I just I just be loving her wedding. Her weddings be killing me. I've seen that's what I've seen her for. But I mean, you're right. Event planner.
Hmm.
She international,
Hmm.
global, and then
Hmm.
you have Julia. You know she was a model. She's getting back into it. She's getting booked, and she's married to a legends icon. Wherever you want to say, I'm like, she can't be out there either acting a whole fool like some of these women. She can't
And
be.
even
Martina's not going
even
for that.
Adriana. Adriana has how many degrees behind her name? Multilingual, musician, um, writer. What else? Like, come on now. And she's in the art world. Like, don't leave out Adriana either. Like that whole couch,
Yeah,
they can make money. They can hustle.
right. And so when you look at that couch versus the other couch, I'm like, y'all ain't got.
Yeah, because you got Lisa, who's a stay-at-home mom, but I'll give her credit. She did do the day spas,
Yeah,
the med spas.
she runs those.
Um,
Yeah,
you got Larsa next, she takes pictures of her feet. Okay. Um, oh, does she still have the jewelry line? and
Allegedly,
dog
Larsa
food.
Marie and somebody on Twitter said like, "Who's running Larsa Marie but Larsa?" I'm like, you know what?
Well,
I'm like,
okay.
you know what?
Then you got Alexia. She got the Manny Petty place. All right. I'm still waiting for the IRS to go and audit her tax tips.
You still believe she's working on cash?
She is. Uh,
Allegedly, allegedly, y'all, cash only.
then you got Marisol. Marisol had a really good career in PR, and now she's
Hmm.
starting her booze business. Good for you, Marisol. And then you got Kiki, a model. Yeah, but we leaving Kiki out. So I'll stop at Marisol. Okay, so there's a little imbalance with the
Balance
couches.
is it puts and it puts. I was thinking it puts them at a it puts Nicole's couch at a disadvantage when it comes to fighting because you can't be going that low.
But listen, no, but they have a strategy on Nicole's couch. They don't have to rebut immediately because the other couch is so busy flapping their gums. Inevitably, they say something that sinks their own ship and
True.
proves the educated couch side. They don't
Hmm.
have to say anything.
Right.
Alexia and them will sink their own ship. They will.
I just thought it was. Yeah, I agree with you. I was just thinking like, wow, they. I guess I've never seen a franchise where it's so imbalanced. I mean,
Mhm.
you got one couch who's like extremely accomplished. Like when I say accomplished, I mean they have their own accolades behind them. Yes, they married
Mhm.
well. Shout
Mhm.
out to marrying well, but they could stand on their own easily.
Let me tell you. I wonder, you know the franchise, you can remember back. Has Alexia always had problems with women on this cast who are accomplished? She had a problem with
Well,
Leah. What about the dentist and the lawyer? Did she have problems with them?
I think Alexi and Anna had issues, and I
Hmm.
think like I think
The,
she had an issue with Karen, the dentist.
there you go.
Oh no! I don't think Alexi was in that season.
What do you
I
mean?
give me. I
Was
don't think
Alexia
Alexi.
in all the seasons?
No, I think she was gone season 2, and she came back in season 3. Let me double check. You keep talking. I can double check this real quick for you.
Okay. I just want to know if there's a particular pattern here. If based on Alexia's insecurities that she really is threatened by these educated women. Just if and it could also explain why she reacts the way she does with Adriana. There has to be a reason why Adriana feels like she's attacked or left out by these women. It has to be. I don't know. Oh, and how they opened up the show where they picked up on that comment with regards to Alexia saying that she's a star and that
Hmm.
if Lisa knew that she was a star, she wouldn't let Lenny do to her all these years what he's done to her. Alexia, if you're so much of a star, you don't pick on other women and put them down and say things like that to them. A star always tries to make other stars shine. That's all I have to say. But Alexia just wants to be superior to everybody else. She wants to be the star of this show. She hates being third seat on that couch because,
Everyone
as
said
the
that.
star, she thinks that she should be first seat. I'm just saying.
So to confirm, I just watched the intro. Yeah,
Mm.
Alexi was gone. Was She was season 1 out? Season 2 came back season 3, but she
Mm.
wasn't with Karen. She wasn't with Karen and Anna. But for some, I don't know why I thought her.
Then why did
Oh,
she say?
it's
Why did
because the
she have
Twitter.
that reaction with Karen
It's the
with Anna?
yeah. It's the It was the Twitter I saw.
Cause when Andy asked Nicole if anybody spoke with Leah or Anna, and Nicole said yes, Alexia, did you notice that Alexia chimed in on everything that nobody asked
Hmm.
her to chime in on? She was real annoying. Real annoying.
Okay, here's what it was. Alexia
Mm.
wasn't full time season two. She was a friend of or guest because
Oh.
that's when Frankie had his accident. That's what it was. So she wasn't
Mm.
full time, but she was recurring. I was like, why do I remember her and Anna getting into it? I think that was what it was. I think that's what it was. I need to go back and rewatch
Interesting.
season two. But with Alexia, I think Alexia always wanted to be the star of the show, of course, but
Hmm.
she's not, and that irks her.
Well,
Maybe she's just insecure about people keep bringing up the fact that she's relied on men and this and that. And my whole thing is this, and I've always said this: like, there's nothing wrong with marrying well. I'm sorry if
hmm
I am broke or close to
hmm
broke. Why would I want to marry another broke person? Like,
exactly.
it's so like when I don't like the stigma around women who marry well. I don't see it's a problem, but I do feel that a woman should have her own as backup. I still say that. Also,
Hmm.
when women marry well or when men marry well, y'all should if you're the person with the less money, you need to be siphoning off money. You should be having your own separate account for savings in case that
Mm-mm-mm.
man wants to leave you, which is kind of why I'm irritated with Lisa. Lisa, you should have known better. But given her situation, I kind of understand why her mind didn't go there. I get it. I understand. But I'm just saying.
No, but I would disagree with that because Lisa's closet alone is a good cushion.
It,
Lisa's closet is a cushion as long as Lenny is not stealing from it.
well, you should know me by now. To where I always think about the big picture. Like for example, let's break this down. You
Hmm.
got 4 opportunities a year. Okay, in between, if they want to give you little gifts like bags, cash, whatever, that's fine, whatever. But I feel on the birthday, real estate, anniversary, real estate, Christmas, real estate. You got 3 times a year to get you some real estate. And that's only to secure your future because you never know what's going to happen in a relationship. I say go for the
True.
gusto.
But here's
Go
my
for the gusto.
counter to that. Here's my counter to that. Real estate can go up and down and it's taxable every year.
Hmm.
Diamonds. Ain't nobody got to pay land tax on diamonds. And you can sell those. You can buy diamonds for the same that you can buy for real estate. Let's just be clear.
Hmm.
I'm not talking about nothing from Zales or Jared's. I'm talking about estate pieces.
Okay.
I'm talking
You're
about
talking about those
colored
investment.
diamonds.
You talking
Yes.
about going to Sutton? You talking about going to Sutton's people and getting the goods and finding it back?
Sotheby's and Christie's. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Auction, please. That's what I'm talking about because I don't want to be paying no taxes on it every year. I don't want the market to be going up and down when you decide to leave my ass. We in a down market and I can't get nothing. Uh-uh. Give me some diamonds and let me sew them into the bottom of my dress and walk away from you and just like I could even do sorry to say this, an insurance fraud and go and get some fake ones and say that somebody stole them from me and cash out twice. Let's just be real here. Diamonds.
Yeah. And they're
Diamonds.
easily they're a lot easier to transport than real estate. You have a point.
Or better yet,
You have
just
a
give me
very
the
good
loose
point.
stones. Just give me the loose stones
I
and
was
we
gonna
can
ask you about the
deal.
loose stones. Like
Mm-hmm.
go and buy them direct. Like raw.
Correct.
I got you.
Go to
Okay.
Antwerp or yeah, Antwerp number one, or Israel and go to a
I got
diamond broker.
you. Hmm,
That's all I'm saying. Because you can sell a great diamond.
true.
You can't always sell a
Good point.
lousy piece of
Real, real,
property.
real. That's true. No, you have a very good point. I just think real estate in the future, but the diamonds make way more sense. Like, look,
Yep.
either way, our thing is stockpile. Understand, like this may not last forever.
And you could
So,
put it in your purse, you could put it in your bra and walk away. All I'm saying, because you never know if you just got to start running.
right, that's true.
If you got to start running, you pick up what you can and you run.
Hmm.
And not say, "Oh, I'm gonna run to my condo down in Miami Beach," and you show up there. He already called a popo for you. Whoop whoop whoop. you know, sorry,
Hmm.
sorry. Like seriously, I always think about a rainy day, and I do like jewelry as a rainy day,
No, it makes sense.
and
But I
real.
do want to ask you. Now we talked about Julia. I do want to talk about Nicole
Mm-hmm.
and that segment where she was going, her and Lars were going back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
and kudos to Andy for stepping in and saying, like, do you not under? He was looking at Lars like, do you not understand the problem she has with you? I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, see, this is the Andy the people want to see. Like, just you're the host, but you need to get in there and really ask the question and get an understanding because
Mm-hmm.
normally in the past he would let Larsa get away with that, but he wanted her to like, no, you need to understand what she's saying here because you're coming after somebody's profession and professionalism. And if Nicole wasn't a doctor, I really think she would have laid Larsa flat. But
Mm-hmm.
she's always understanding that she is a doctor, so she can't be out here doing that. And I appreciated that. And my whole thing is, how are you mad? Like, she's mad about what Anthony said about her, like, homework or blah. Like, ma'am, based on what I've read or what I've heard, like, you were the mistress before you were the wife, based on timeline.
But
So
that
I don't
recent guy
understand.
that she had before Marcus, he
Yeah,
was married and just had a
right,
baby. And she was down in Ball Harbor shops with him. And his wife didn't know until she saw it in the papers. Like Larsa, do you forget what you do? Because you call the paps for that.
right. And then you go to Lacosta. Says she's like, you know what? He was mad because of what you said about his child. I'm like, well, y'all forget that is his child. The whole out of wedlock thing, and
Mm-hmm.
Gertie, Gertie, I think was it Gertie? I think it was Gertie. He said she's like, you know what? If he had not defended you and his child in that moment, she thought then that would have been a red flag for me. I'm like, and I agree.
He had a right to be salty about that. He
Oh
did.
yeah, but
And
I'm
I
saying
think he
Gertie
was
said like
pretty
he hadn't.
gentle about it by just saying, keep her away from my boat captain because he just got engaged.
Hmm. I'm just saying Gertie said, and I like that. I like that a woman said it that if he
Mm-hmm.
hadn't stepped in and said something, it'd be a problem.
Yep.
I like the fact that because men we tend to in these situations we don't really care man or woman. You can get this work too, especially verbally. But
Mm-hmm.
I like that a woman said it. Like I'm like okay, y'all you see it too. Perfect.
Well, at least I'm glad that he said it to Nicole. He said what he had to
Right.
say to Nicole and not going and saying it to
Right.
Larsa.
Larsa directly. Right.
Cause Todd inserted himself in women's business and he should have saved that for Alexia.
And I don't understand that. I really have never understood that because honestly it's only because the way I was raised. Now we're in a different era of us of life,
Mm-hmm.
but the way I was raised is like as a man, you don't really fight with women. Like if you have a partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like in Anthony's situation,
Mm-hmm.
you speak to your fiance, wife, whoever. You speak to her about that and you go let her handle that. You,
Right.
as a man, you don't go and go at another a woman. It just seems odd to me. Like, and I'm not, if y'all fighting, y'all fight that. Um, have faith in your woman. Boo got this. She don't need me.
Mm-hmm.
If I need to handle something, I'll handle something with old dude over there. Not a problem. But you don't, as a man, you just don't jump in the mix like that. It just looks real messy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
And
know.
I mean, and we can say equal rights. You should be able to confront whoever you want to confront.
Well,
I
if the
see that,
fight
but
is between the man and the woman, that's something different. But if it's two women having
yeah,
a disagreement and then a
right.
man jumps in, that
You know,
no.
right.
Why
If
does
the
she
woman
need that
addresses
help?
you first, if the woman addresses the man first directly, well, ma'am, you gonna get what you gonna get on that one. But the argument was between Larsa and Nicole.
Hmm.
Nicole went back and told him, well, hey, this is what Larsa said pertaining to our child. He has every right to speak on that, but speak on it to Nicole because
Hmm.
Larsa said it to Nicole.
Yep. I think he handled it as best as
Yeah,
he could.
he didn't do it, Peter
Um,
Thomas.
you mean Patricia?
I was just like,
Patricia?
no. And it's always
Oh
a
my
dicey.
god.
No, it's always a dicey position whenever a man approaches a woman because I'm sorry, even as a man, you could be right. You're still gonna look bad because you approached a woman aggressively. That's always gonna be how it's spun, no
So I
matter the
guess that's
facts.
why Andy had to wind up apologizing this episode for
Dude,
screaming at Larsa. But I understood why he was screaming at Larsa. I couldn't, like, nobody could understand what anything was happening. It was just a whole
no.
mess.
But I did like the fact he called her an asshole, though. He's like, that was just an asshole thing to say. She's like, well, yeah, it
Because
was,
it
but.
personally impacted him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that went over Larsa's head.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to stop being so self-involved. Her and Alexia are very self-involved, and they don't care. I don't even want to say they don't understand. They don't care what
Right.
how what they say impacts others cuz it's just about them and some supposed attack on them. Like Alexia chirping these past two episodes about how she feels like she's been attacked all season. By who? Who? Nobody cares about you that much. Just saying. Um okay. So I think I watched a page 6 interview with Alexia and Marisol regarding the animosity with Adriana and them, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they think, well, Alexia says that they made the mistake of letting Adriana know on the Keys trip about Alexia and Marisol getting selected for Ultimate Girls Trip. And that once Adriana found out, her jealousy over it caused her to attack the two of them for the rest of the season. Who knew that girls trip was that much of a big deal? Um but Alexia says that their relationship went downhill from the Keys trip this
Mm-hmm.
season. I think it was a couple of things that happened on that trip. It was the attack on all Russian women, and the watch situation.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're trying to throw in Ultimate Girls Trip. I think it was other
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, I think it was to me the way it came across. It was a culmination of quite a few things over the years.
It's just so
But they want to choose.
stupid.
They choose to pick that because it suits their narrative that Adriana's jealous of them.
I like how Alexia is diagnosing everybody because I'm just looking at the notes here. After Alexia calls Adriana the devil, um, she tells she tells Marisol that Adriana's a crazy person and she needs to be medicated. What does she know about that?
Right.
Mm-mm. How'd you like when Kiki came out and her booby did too? And then you saw Andy there on his phone. Oh no, I missed that. And he didn't even
Right.
That was cute. That was cute. Oh, we find out about Julia and what the swimming was. She's been here in Miami for over 10 years and has never gone in the water. I can so relate. I've been here over 20 and I've never been in the water. I don't go in the water in America. I go in the Caribbean. Period. Oh lordy, but that was cute. What else happened? We talk about how Martina supports Julia in her new career, her relaunch or whatever. Um, and that, Julia, as long as they can cure Martina, she will do Aspen, she will do the dinners, she will do the ocean, she will do whatever Martina wants her to do as long as Martina gets better. And what else happened? um there was something else with Julia that I really liked. um God, why do I have notes here on PP funnels? Um, oh, let's talk about Larsa. Okay, so they were saying that Gertie has a great sex life with Russell, blah, blah, blah. Then they started going around 3 times a week, blah, blah, blah. Larsa says for all 23 years of her marriage, she has sex 4 times a night every night for all 23 years of her marriage. And even when Scotty was on the road, they would take the private jet, her and the kids, so he could drill her out 4 times a night. How many lies do you sense?
I mean, they
Uh,
have what, 4 kids?
yes, but here's the thing. You having sex 4 times a night, you notice that she ain't say with who. She
Well,
said during my
that was the first thing.
marriage.
That was the first thing. The second thing is, ma'am, you were pregnant. What, four? She got 4 kids, right? Four.
Yeah, I think it's four.
So, ma'am, 4 times what? 4 times 10 months is like what? Roughly 40 months. So that's 40 months of no sex right there. Well, no,
No,
we're gonna
women
take
have
no because
sex.
sex. Yeah, they have sex, but she's talking about. I don't see that happening through all 10 months of pregnancy. I, I I've never heard it. I'm gonna put it
or
that way.
or the 6 weeks after you give birth that you're not supposed
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
She's just a whole liar.
Right, but like you said, everyone people were talking about that on Twitter too. They're like, well, y'all noticed that she didn't say with who. I
For
was like, y'all
real.
messy for that. I'm like, y'all messy for that. But now when I rewatched it, that section, I'm like, well, they not lying.
But then someone asked about the last names. Nobody didn't care about that. Then he asked, what if Juanita was supposed to come after her oldest boy who's playing for the Lakers and have a relationship? She was like, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Like the fuck you wouldn't, MILF Manor. Her oldest boy is only 22 and Juanita
Hmm.
has to be in her 50s.
Hmm.
You wouldn't have a problem with as long as he's happy. Lies.
But
Lies.
and but then you have to think about the fact that she's like, I had never met him before. I was like, oh,
You know
oh,
basketball better than
oh.
me. They play together on the same team, right?
Yes,
I know they weren't friendly or something, but you like there was no family day for the Bulls?
right.
You weren't
So
sitting
Marcus,
down in the stands in the family
I mean
section?
Marcus, like Marcus is 32, so that makes him born in 1991. They were together. The Bulls were together through. They were Scotty and Michael played until like Bulls won in 91, 92, 93.
But
Michael
she
left.
says that when Scotty came there, Michael and Juanita were in the middle of their divorce, so the families never got together.
Hold on.
That's what she said.
Okay, the couple did not get divorced until 2006. I'm gonna need her to stop. That would make Marcus 15 at the time.
But it take a while for people to get divorced. Maybe from when
Maybe 3 years.
well, maybe they weren't talking before they filed.
But no, but still,
I can't believe I'm trying to make
no,
excuses for Larsa.
you are. But like I said, Marcus was born in 1991. They played
When
together until about 1998. So you're gonna tell me 1998, 2000, whatever. We'll say 9 years at most, right? From the moment he was born. You not gonna sit here and tell me like you had not met their child in the 9 years in those nine
Wait,
years.
wait, hold on. When did Scotty start playing for the Bulls?
Ooh, a hold on, let me just double check. When
Wait, cuz like
he was drafted, okay, he was drafted by the Bulls in '87.
87.
Yeah, and I think Michael was drafted in what 84, 85.
So wait, it was before the kid was born? When did
Yes,
she get married to him?
Jordan was drafted in '84.
Mhm. When did Scotty marry Larsa?
92, 93. Hold on, when did
Wait, and Marcus was born in 91? Oh my god.
double check the timeline? They got married in '97.
97.
Right.
Oh, okay. So it was about 2 years that Larsa and him were together as a married
Hmm.
couple. Because
Right.
if she was the mistress before, she couldn't actually go to the games. Ugh. Um.
Right. Scotty Pippen.
Oh my god. Okay, there is an overlap. Okay, never mind. Whatever. Um, Larsa, you messy as hell. And that boy sitting in the back room waiting on you, that's a whole mess.
Hmm.
They talk about the rumor that Larsa told about
Okay, so the
um
first wife. Okay, I
mhm,
back up. So Scotty's first wife,
mhm,
just to correct this, it said he was married from '88 to '90.
mhm.
So was he dating someone else when Larsa got him? Because
Probably.
they've always made Larsa out to be the mistress or the side piece, and
She
always
probably
it, to me.
was, just
Okay,
not with a marriage.
got it. So I take it back. Lars,
She
well, he
was
could
in
be
the
a
rotation.
mistress.
She was in the
God, he could be a
rotation.
mistress if he was dating somebody. Mm,
Mm.
interesting. But yeah, anyway,
Okay.
but they got that was just too funny. She's like they were in the midst of a divorce. They have a 10-year divorce. Okay.
Uh-uh. Okay, so they talk about the rumor that she heard about Julia kissing the guy down at the Four Seasons. As it turns out, it was her designer of her dress, Naeem Khan. Okay, girl. Andy asks if I like what he asked all the ladies if they think that Larsa weaponizes her, like like what she says, these rumors that she hears. And couch intelligence all raise their hands and the other side doesn't. But yet they bring up that altercation, not altercation, the interaction that she had with Marisol season 1 when Larsa went after Mama Elsa.
Right. And then
Like,
Marisol trying to clean that, and Marisol's like, "Oh, we worked past that." I'm like, "Hold up, there's no working past you talking about my mama. There's no mutual respect. There's
mm-hmm.
no working past that. It's pretty much gonna be
Mm-hmm.
on site every time I see you."
But and then she Marisol had to go and beg producers to eliminate what this girl said because it was so bad, and you're friends with her.
Hmm.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Hey, Larja. Larja says this was an okay reunion. I feel like they didn't get anywhere. Nothing new was said. Well, true. They're not going to get anywhere because you have one couch that, you know, understands logic, is educated, and then the other couch which is just like a couple of cinder blocks. That's it. Um oh, and Larja, I heard you on Kempire earlier. Ooh, she was so cute. Um, let's see. How do these like I would never like okay. If I was in their position, I'm sure that they get like a lot of random people sliding into their DMs saying, I
Of
heard this
course.
and I heard that. I would never take any of that as gospel.
Mm-mm.
It's one thing if you tell me something, I know you, but like a DM from a random? I'm not trusting that. But Larsa and Marisol, they run with it. Um, the spinners were on one couch spinning lies and people with stuff going on. Um, they're in the other. Oh Lord, yeah, it was a tale of two couches for this reunion for sure. Um, let's see. They asked about if there were any regrets. And did anybody have any regrets besides Alexia? Did Larsa regret saying what she said about Nicole?
She she alluded to it.
I just feel like nothing is ever like genuine with her. Um
Here's the thing with Larsa, and forgive me for saying this,
mhm.
but Larsa is one of those people that deep down you want to like her. You do, but her issue is that everything is so always she's always reacting.
Mhm.
It's like, well, you're a mom and you're an adult, like you've lived life. As we get older, we tend to learn not to react to everything, to take a
Mhm.
pause, take a breath. And to me, that's part of her issue, that she's always reactionary. Because I could see her
Mhm.
being a very good friend, but the part that leaves me pause is that she's that friend who's a good friend to you until you disagree with her, and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So let's
Like, I
go
don't
to
despise her
the mhm.
like Alexia. Alexia, like,
Oh.
I'm one of those people like who was like really liked Alexia. Even on Twitter I saw it, and one person really brought up a good point.
Mhm.
I wish I knew the account and had screenshot it, but they said,
Mhm.
I was an avid Alexia fan. She was fun, she was, light, you liked her, and
Mm-mm.
her like taking a step back to care for her son made you like her even more. The problem
Mm-mm.
is now, now those shows gotten re-picked up, you would think that she's acting like you would think that the show was repicked up just because of her. Like they had to have her, and they're like
Mhm.
her ego got too big, and her they said her ego ugly side has overshadowed the loving mom that we see. And I'm like, you know what? That's true. That's kind of how I feel because I always looked at Alexia as a great mom and she was that fun Cuban Barbie you wanted to hang out with. And now you see like the ugly side is like, wow.
No, this is Alexia from season
But
1.
you but you've always said this though. You've always said this. You've
I
always said
see
Alexia's
past
been
the
messy.
veneer.
Hmm.
I've never liked her. She's never come to my spirit. Whatever. But I feel like she uses her children as pawns, as an excuse to cry, as an excuse to get off the hook, as an excuse to get out of jail free card, whatever. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. She uses every bad thing in her life as an excuse to just go poor Alexia. Woo 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 woo. Well, we all fucking got problems. Whatever. Now we round it back over to like people suspecting Lenny of being a dog for years and wondering why Lisa, like, no one believes that she was blindsided by this.
I'm sorry, no, because he emotionally cheated on you already. Sorry, Lisa, I love you, adore
Let's just
you,
stop with
but
the
you're
emotional
not going.
cheating. He cheated. Period.
Dot. But anyway, it's just I'm not gonna say like I was with the viewer or the Twitter person. Like you can't tell me you see this coming. You didn't know, and here's why: the sex is dwindling off, and you're hot.
Hmm.
You're hot. You're Lisa. You're hot. The sex. He stopped sleeping with you. And you say, okay. I, mm, Lisa, no baby cakes. And she got caught in her lie because she said on camera and she asked this. He's
Hmm.
eating better, he's working out, he's never eaten as good, he has a trainer, he's getting in really good shape. And she looked at him, she even said she asked him for who? For me, right? I'm like, ma'am, the simple fact that you asked that question out loud in front of the world lets me know you knew something was up. So I can't go with her on that.
Well, she's holding tight to that. It was a shock. Um, but
Lies,
Gertie
nothing.
said something about some charity event that didn't make the season
Mm-hmm.
and how odd his behavior was. Like he wouldn't like they showed the scene, but at that point I really
Right.
wasn't paying attention because Lenny was there. But he wouldn't come in with Lisa and Gertie was like, I thought that was strange. Um, you know, and this is when Lisa explains that, she was blindsided, that Lenny was taking testosterone. Oh, child. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, she said that the sex life wasn't that great.
That's a
In the
okay.
last 2 months, there was nothing. Well, in the 2 months prior to him asking for the divorce, there was none.
Here's the thing. Let me jump
Um,
in real quick with that before I forget.
mhm,
Now, the
mhm,
testosterone is very important because the testosterone is one. It helps, you know, with muscle mass. It helps. It's one of the things you can use to help build muscle. That's number one. Number two, sex drive. So if he's taking
mhm.
testosterone and you're getting less sex, ma'am, sorry,
Yeah, because remember on Married to
sorry.
Medicine, Dr. Eugene took testosterone to boost up his sex drive for
Mm-hmm.
Toya. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, okay, well, there we go. So she's still saying that she was blindsided. Then someone asked a question regarding the Halloween party. She says that she didn't want to do it. She legally couldn't keep him away from the house, and he wanted to do the party. Um, but the restraining order was in place, so the girlfriend couldn't come. It was 600 people at that party. This is why their neighbors hate them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Then Kiki drops the bomb of all bombs to leave the cliffhanger for part 3 of this reunion. Kiki says that she's been going to Lenny and Lisa's parties for years. Um, and that she has heard from her model friends on Miami Beach that he's been cheating with several of those women for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows these models that he's cheated with. Lisa, don't try to lie about this. You know it. You know it.
Yeah.
The
Mm-hmm.
same way you had to tell the same current girlfriend that he has now a year ago for her to get away from him in the hot tub, was it? You know that he's been uber friendly to other people throughout your marriage. Period. Point blank. She knew. Yes, she knew. But that's the cliffhanger for part 3. These were
Yep.
two good, solid parts for the reunion. Usually part 2 sucks, but this was solid. This was solid. It kept me entertained.
Yeah, I wasn't bored.
Especially the fight back scene in the dressing rooms. That was a
That was good.
killer.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that component of the reunions. When they go
Oh my
backstage because,
god.
to me, honestly, the backstage conversations were more interesting than some of the onstage conversations.
Listen, when Larsa went backstage and told that boy, all I wanted to do was talk about you. So why you ain't talk about him during the season? Nobody cared. Like on the reunion, we're supposed to talk about stuff that happened during the season. You should have gotten it
Exactly.
together and talked about it during the season instead of us seeing you sitting at home cleaning up after your dogs. Case closed. I don't know. Anything else that we missed in this episode?
No, that
Oh,
part 3 looks to be a doozy.
what about Kiki talking about Burger King? That was the realest of realest shit. She was like, there was a time in my life where I was sustained on cold, Whoppers, and I still
Mm-hmm.
like them. Good on you, girl, that you could choke down a
All
Whopper.
right.
Ugh. I personally
Hold
don't
up
like
now.
Whoppers.
That's unfortunate. We gonna let that go.
I
Uh, okay, we
don't
gonna
like
let that go.
Whoppers. I don't. I like their chicken sandwiches though. The ones that are
Yeah.
on like a sub, not the
Yeah.
round
Yeah. Yeah.
ones. The original
Right.
one. Yeah.
Yes.
I love those. And an onion ring. I
They did.
love
Yeah.
a Burger King onion ring. Um, but the
I know
Whoppers
a
not
couple
so much.
people. I know a couple people who didn't like the Whoppers, and typically is because they were Wendy's fans. Like those are the people I know who did not like Whoppers.
You know why? Okay. So, like I said, I emigrated to this country late 70s. And I emigrated to Brooklyn, New York. That's where I grew up. And back in those days, the rumor was that the Whopper, because it was ginormous back then, it was a really big sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And the rumor was that it was horse meat.
We'll
So
see.
that's always stuck in my head. I was little. I was
So you don't eat
little.
Jack in the Box either.
I've never had a Jack in the Box. They're not on
Okay.
the East Coast. So what's the
Same
rumor
rumor.
about Jack in the Box? Because I want to eat there.
The tacos.
The tacos are
The
what
meat.
kind of meat?
The, alleged. Well, those it's not horse meat. Allegedly, it's dog food.
Oh, really? So then that's Taco Bell.
Shut up.
Well, no, not dog food. It's pink matter because someone analyzed the meat
Yeah,
in Taco Bell and it's more pink matter than actual meat. I don't
but
know what pink matter is though.
remember, but you remember the talk show we did where someone ratted out Subway? I think it was during
That was
Maps.
me.
That was
It
you,
was
right? Mass.
yes, because you said you like tuna sandwiches, and I was like, "Do you know
the,
that
tu-
that's not like
the, the
100%
tuna
tuna?"
melt. The tuna melt. It was hilarious. That was like the
And I had
funniest
just
thing. Like,
seen an article on that,
oh,
and
it was like
I
the
was just
funniest.
like, "Oh my god!" Because my good friend Nina, she loves the tuna fish from Subways, and you said that's your favorite, and I'm just like,
Yeah, tuna melt.
"No, that's not tuna fish."
It was so. It was actually you. It was hilarious. I just remember laughing so hard. Like, I'm gonna still eat it though, and pretend I don't know.
I don't eat Taco Bell. I don't eat Subway. I have McDonald's. I can't help. I don't know what it is, but I do
Mhm.
like McDonald's, and I know it's probably not
One
real
second.
meat.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Hmm. But I indulge. I even had some today. Sue me. I had McDonald's today. I had fries, and I had a burger, a cheeseburger. So sue me. Mm. But yeah, that's it. Anyhow, that's the episode. Next week is the end. I'm gonna miss this show. I don't think they had a filler episode. And even if there was a filler episode, it was still highly entertaining. Whatever the formula is on this franchise, it works.
But here's the formula on this franchise. Let's be honest. These people are actually friends. There's history. These aren't
And
just
they're in
people
a
they
great
plop in.
city. Hey.
These aren't people they just plop together.
Mhm.
And they're not just adding random people who they met at one party the year before.
Mhm. Oh wait. What is going on the Twitter with Nicolette Sheridan and Housewives of Beverly Hills?
There's been rumors that she's
Mhm.
been contacted from what I've been seeing,
Mhm.
and but I
Because
haven't seen
she put
anything
out
to
a tweet
confirm it.
that saying they want me bad or something like
I saw
that.
that. No, I saw that.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry, I saw that.
Wouldn't it be nice if she came on though?
Not really. No, we should have had her on when Lisa Renna was on, when
But that was
everyone
never gonna
wanted her on.
happen. That was never gonna happen.
But that's what we wanted, though. The people wanted that because it was
Well,
this is
that's
what they
what
were.
you
This is what they were
wanted.
supposed to do. No, the people wanted on Twitter too. This is what they should have done. They should have Nicolette Sheridan full time, and then
Mhm.
behind her back have Terry Hatcher on as a friend of. That's what they should have done. That would have been beautiful.
You want to rehash a Desperate Housewives.
Oh, no, it's not just for Housewives. They don't like each other in real life.
I know that, but they didn't like each other on the show either.
Like, hence why they need to be on reality TV. 'Cause that would be gold.
Oh my god. Nobody want to see Terry Hatcher outside of her shower dyeing her hair.
But could you imagine setting the scene? You have Nicolette filming with Garcelle and some other people's right. She already don't like Lisa Renna. Oh,
Mhm.
we could have messy Lisa Renna be her friend, Terry Hatcher's friend, and you have they already in the event, right? Garcelle, Nicolette, whoever.
Mhm.
In walks Lisa Renner, right? And then behind
Mhm.
her is Terry Hatcher, friend of Lisa Renner,
You know what?
blindsided in the corner.
I hope that they filmed at the Elton John post Oscar party because it
Mm-hmm.
seems like all of them were there. And
Right.
I don't know what Lisa Renna was wearing, but it looked like a bunch of toilet paper was stuck on her. It was like really weird.
She was wearing Jean Paul Gaultier.
Well, even he makes a mistake. Ain't that what Luann said about Louis Vuitton?
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, here's my whole thing with that one. Real quick. I get it, but I just didn't understand why it had to be that way. Why couldn't it just been like the front that actually fit the woman? It didn't need to. It could have had the same impact, in my opinion. But hey, what do I know? But people were
Mm-mm.
flaming her on Twitter about that. Like, what were you trying to do? Why? And then her fans
Mm-mm.
were like, "Oh, it's runway. It was runway." And they're like, "Yes, rented runway." I'm like, "Oops."
Oop. Oop, oop.
I'm like, oh well, but there's nothing wrong with renting something
Mm-hmm.
to wear. I'm like, it's not that deep. Like if you could, my thing, if you could afford to rent it, kudos. If even if they offered you for even if they just offered for you to wear it just to like to get it
Mm-hmm.
out there, even better. You ain't got to spend no money on it.
But she's got a lot of really great vintage stuff. Like she's got
Yes.
Tom Ford Gucci. Why she don't pull some of that out and dust it off?
I just think I honestly think somebody reached out to her and asked her to wear that. I'm gonna be completely honest. That's the way I look at it because, like you just said, she has some. We've seen what she got down there. She doesn't need to rent from anybody. Let's say one thing about Lisa Rinna, like her or not, she does not need to rent. Period.
Mhm. Oh, well. Okay, so this Sunday, the last episode of MILF Manor,
Hmm.
I will miss her when she's gone. Um, and we are bracing ourselves for Brother Husbands.
I'm gonna side with you on this one. I'm saying this before the season even starts. I'm
Mhm.
not expecting much from this show.
Agreed.
I'm not.
I was looking forward to it too much. I think it's just gonna flop for me, but
Hmm.
here's to hoping that it does
Does well.
actually give us something. But I
Agreed.
feel like MILF Manor is going to be better than Brother Husbands.
Well, yeah, because the way I'm looking at it, the reason why I think that was because I think it's going to play into typical, stereotypical tropes. Men's
Hmm.
jealousy, men's aggression. I really, I see a lot of stereotypes.
Oh, I just think people are going to be hamming it up.
That too.
Putting out these like extreme situations for reactions.
Yes.
Ugh. Anywho, guys, happy St. Patrick's Day. Have a drink for me and my ancestors, or at least part of them. Um, Stay safe out there. Don't drink too much green beer today, and enjoy your corned beef and cabbage. Jamal, have a wonderful weekend.
You too.
And any final thoughts on this episode?
No, like good season. You know that I we just got the word the other day that they were officially picked up for season 6. And
Mm.
from what I read on Twitter, they start filming April 10th.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's quick.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, no rest for the weary.
Well,
Mm.
honestly, the reunion was probably what filmed like a month ago, maybe. So they probably have a 2 month break.
Does Lisa have a court date yet?
Not that I've seen.
Damn it. Okay, so at least we can look forward to the next season of Real Housewives of Miami.
For
So,
sure.
guys, thanks for joining us today for season 5, episode 18, Real Housewives of Miami reunion part 2. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Is it giving you everything that it's meant to? Do you have any issues? Anything at all? We appreciate it. Oh, thank you to the person who commented regarding Amy. Anyone over who has a BMI over 35 will not have a menstrual cycle. And furthermore, Amy has said
Mm.
on many occasions that she don't want no children.
Tammy or Amy?
Sorry, Tammy. Tammy.
Okay.
Yes,
Nice.
Tammy.
Okay.
They're interchangeable at this point. So yes. So thank you so much for providing that info because I don't watch this show. All right, Jamal. Have a great weekend. Until next
You
time.
too. Yep.
Bye.